Now to an exclusive CNN investigation in which Western and Ukrainian intelligence sources tell CNN just how Russia is using its shadow fleet of oil tankers not only to evade Western sanctions, but as cover for espionage in European waters. CNN's Katie Pogles reports.
Looking out over the English Channel, this narrow stretch of water between the UK and France, at points just 20 miles wide, is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. Now CNN can exclusively reveal that there have been ships, ordinary-looking cargo ships, that have sailed right past here with Russian personnel on board who, according to Western intelligence sources, are conducting espionage on behalf of the Russian state. And that includes taking photos of European military installations, they say. The men on board belong to the Moran Security Group, the sources said, a maritime private security company set up over a decade ago to defend against piracy. Last year, the US sanctioned them for providing armed security services to Russian state-owned businesses. These ships Moran Security are on are not usually Russian, nor are the crew. But they're known as Russia's shadow fleet, as Western authorities believe they secretively serve the Kremlin's interests, like carrying Russian oil despite Western sanctions. We asked Ukrainian foreign intelligence, who have been tracking the group, why they think these men from Moran Security were on board.
For our information, this actual Moran Security Group is connected to Russian Special Service GRU, military intelligence, and is coordinated by them.
He said the men are tasked with keeping an eye on non-Russian captains, but that is not the only role.
They can be involved in covert information gathering during the traveling during the routes of these vessels.
And a job application form on the Moran Security Group's website makes it clear what skills they're looking for, stating preferences given to former officers who have served in special forces units, including the GRU, that's Russia's military intelligence agency. We tracked with shipping data and satellite imagery one of the ships Western intelligence sources told us Moran Security were recently on board. This ship, the Boracay, is a crude oil tanker. It appears at the port of Primorsk in Russia on September 19th. We obtained the crew list, showing the boat left Primorsk the next day. And after a long list of non-Russian sailors, at the bottom are 2 Russians, listed only as technicians, but Western intelligence sources told us they are Russian contractors, acting in line with the Kremlin's interests, and that one is a former member of Wagner, Russia's most notorious mercenary group. The cargo ship then sailed through the Baltic Sea and around the coast of Denmark. Mysterious drones were seen over Danish military air bases and airports at the same time. After the ship passed Denmark off the coast of France, it was detained by French authorities for not providing proof of the boat's nationality. Even President Putin was following the news.
They were apparently searching for some kind of cargo, maybe military equipment, drones or something similar. There's nothing there, and there never was.
But actually, the 2 Russian men from Moran Security were still on board, according to Western intelligence sources, and the French authorities questioned them in private. They were later let go, and the ship sailed on to a port in India, where the ship unloaded Russian oil, according to a maritime analytics firm. CNN was unable to contact the management of the ship. We called Moran Security's deputy director, Alexei Badikov, about the findings. He said, "I am not in a position to confirm whether the 2 men worked for the group," and said it was crazy to suggest the Boracay launched the drones, adding, "If you would like to use drones, you will use fishing vessels or something like that, not from the big oil tanker." When asked about the claim they are spying for the Russian security services or working for the Russian state, he said, "No comment." Whatever Moran and Russia are doing at sea, their presence on board these boats is a sign of how brazen Russia has become in the face of their European neighbours. Katie Pogles, CNN, Dover.
And since the initial airing of Katie's report, the Kremlin has said, quote, "We don't have any information on this matter at all."